You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take. On Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your wheel. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world on 2 different platforms simultaneously, YouTube and Facebook Live simultaneously. You know, Jimmy, it's just a unique way to watch and interact with the sports talk show. But you know what? Over last night, y'all, I was talking to some friends of mine and in the industry and around in different industries yesterday, and I said at some point we're gonna run out of topics. But guess what they said? They said, because guess what? No games, no topics. You know what they told me? Man, you and that guy on your show, y'all don't never run out of topics. They said, it's been seven. Listen, these people from all over the country I'm talking to. I guess they watching our show, Jimmy. But they said, we done had 7 straight games, 7 straight shows, y'all, without a game, and we still rolling. Man, let me tell you something, man. Hey, it's good when people on the outside, you know, just watching the show and enjoying the show. And, shout out to them. They know who they are. But Jimmy, I got it on a serious note. I cannot believe you guys, not you, but you guys who elected this dude as president, man. You know, you notice I always say I ain't mad at him, right? I ain't mad at him no more. I used to call him the Orange Cheeto. I wouldn't even call him by his name. But I'm mad at the people that voted for him, and I'm mad at the people that didn't vote. Talking about, Jim, it's the lesser of 2 evils. I'm not voting. I'm really mad at y'all. You know, there's a young kid told me. Said watching Trump do a press conference is like watching a kid who didn't read a book before he got his book report. This is a young Jim, teenager, said watching our president do a press conference is like watching the kid who didn't read the book and gave his book report. You know, and I didn't mean to go there. It just struck me this morning that you know, and I've been hearing so many stories locally and nationally of people doing incredible kind of things during this crisis, Jimmy. Watching watching so much ingenuity and sacrifice from so many Americans. I mean, stuff I just can't even talk about on the show that I don't like. It's just stuff that our everyday people are doing despite 24 hours of this negative stuff on Twitter. Y'all watch what you say on Twitter. This country have so many kick-ass people in this. I mean, people that's out here doing stuff, ain't bragging about it, but people out here doing some stuff, man, that's helping people. And let me tell you something. Shout out to you people. Shout out to you first responders. Shout out to your healthcare workers. I know people in the healthcare industry. I know doctors are subjecting themselves to getting infected by helping others. They bringing back, Jimmy, retired doctors, retired nurses. I mean, this is a thing that this just showed me how great this country really is, no matter who is on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But Jimmy, and then all else, later on during the show, because I'm not just a music aficionado. I like music, but some people, somebody explained to me this D-Nice craze when everybody was on Instagram, Jimmy, the other night. They had a club quarantine. So Chop Shop, if anybody can express that, because I don't understand the phenomenon. I went and watched it, later, but I just didn't understand. We going online and watching a DJ play some music that I can play on my own thing. So y'all might need to help me with that a little bit later. But Jimmy, what is you got? Because remind me, I got some great topics for us. But what you got?
And well, we want to start off the show by wishing Houston Madison head coach Craig Mara congratulations after a successful surgery. We informed you guys on yesterday, Coach Mara. He's been at Madison High School for a long time. It comes from a family of royalty in HISD as far as educators. It is used as a measuring stick. But Coach Mara has informed us that the doctors on yesterday have removed any and all traces of cancer from him. So that's great. And how about this? He's on the way home today. Ain't that something? And that's great. So
Jimmy, I had a message. Did you want me to cue the message up?
Yeah, cue that message up. And speaking of, guys may have heard the name, but can't put the name with the face. Coach Mara has message for the Chop Shop, and he provided to us on yesterday.
Well, I'm expected to make a full and complete recovery. It appears as if they got all the cancer. It's fixing to be on and popping.
He says it's about to be on and popping. They got all the cancer. He said they got all the cancer. Jimmy, people seem to be responding saying, come on, Hatter. I preface it, Trey Phillips, with I am not a music buff. Okay? Robert Hatter is not the guy that's coming to the club saying, who is the DJ? I don't care who the DJ. I never looked up at the DJ booth. I didn't care. I've never said, that's just me. I'm not saying that I like music, but I didn't see the phenomenon, Miss Lori Dotson, of somebody going on social media and watching some that I could have listened to on my stereophonic sound equipment. And I just didn't see the phenomenon. I like stuff I like golf. Y'all don't like golf. Y'all probably don't see the phenomenon that I feel that I want to go out here and play golf. But I don't knock y'all for it. I don't say, come on, Lori. Come on, Trey. You don't play golf. No. Hey, y'all understand. Some people don't like what y'all like. Let's repeat that. Some people don't like what you like. I don't like sushi, but people always taking me to sushi restaurant. I can't stand it. Some things we don't like, and like I said, shout out to Coach Morrow, but every time somebody disagree with what one of y'all say, it's not, come on, just, I didn't see the phenomenon. If you listen to what I said, of 100,000 people on a device watching a DJ play music, I didn't see the phenomenon. Maybe y'all did, I didn't. That's all. That's why I brought it up. So it's not, come on, Hatter. Y'all just explain what you enjoyed about it. Don't knock me for not liking what y'all like. It's some stuff I like y'all probably don't like.
What Hatter, you asked, you invited the audience to share with you to help you to understand.
I didn't say that.
Why,
I said, what is the phenomenon? I didn't say, I said, just tell me the phenomenon.
So that's what I'm saying. So that means you invited them. You invited them to tell you.
And then I straightened their ass up. I straightened it up. Yeah. Then I straightened it up.
So what's the difference if LeBron James is doing a FaceTime on Instagram with his kids talking about Taco Tuesday? What's the difference?
Jim, I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to the people on. I ain't talking that mess you talking about. I'm talking about, I said, what is the phenomenon?
The phenomenon, that was his craft. He's a disc jockey. So that means he was doing what he's
I ain't talking about what he did. I'm talking about 100,000 people.
People were watching him perform his craft. So that's what, in the meantime, that's what I'm saying. So people were watching him.
So my question, so the logical answer should have been, this is why I watch him. That's the logical. That's the logical answer. Somebody said, well, I watched him because blank. Not, come on, Hatter. The hell out of here.
There's no uniformed answer unless you gave them.
Wait, hold, excuse me, sir. That was not, didn't you say I posed it? So if I posed it, you can't tell me what the hell I'm looking for. I'm talking about what I'm looking for. You look for what you want to look for.
You're saying with that, the way and the manner of which they specifically should have replied to you.
And guess what? They replied the way they wanted to. And
exactly.
Hold up, excuse me, sir. And I rebutted the way I wanted to. But Mr. Police tried to tell everybody what to do. You trying to tell me what to expect. Dude, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I got this.
In the United States of
America, I got this.
And no, you don't got this because you asked, you said you don't understand something.
I said, what is the phenomenon?
So that means you don't understand.
What is the phenomenon? I said, I got this over here. You run your shoes over and let me run this. That's all.
Bottom line, DJ D-Nice is one of the most popular hip hop disc jockeys of all time. So he's in the Mount Rushmore of hip hop DJs.
I know who DJ D-Nice is. Excuse me, Mr. Smarty. I know who D-Nice is. I have met the guy. Know who he is. I said a phenomenon of people sitting there watching on the device. And if you listen to the damn question, watching the device and sitting there saying, oh, 100,000 people? Shit, 100,000 people don't come. Jimmy, he gained followers. I think he gained a lot more followers tonight. So was that the phenomenon? That he gained more followers?
The phenomenon is a new, you just said there's a new normal. So having virtual house parties, virtual parties is a new thing. And actually people have been doing it. They have been doing it, but now it's becoming like for people that wasn't aware of it. There's been plenty of those on FaceTime that I had seen. I think Stevie Clark's mom had put me on one that I told you guys about maybe 5-6 months ago. and it was some guy that was that was DJing, and he would FaceTime it, but it was at a smaller magnitude. Now,
well, I understand that, but you can't tell me how I should react to people. You can't. You're not me. You can't tell me how I react to people. That's the problem I have with this one. Like you said, I was offended by that. You can't tell me how I react to people. Trey Phillips, I was talking to him. I was talking to Lori Dawson. I ain't said nothing to you. They know how to talk. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I can't talk over you. You over talking them.
Yeah, but guess what? I got the mic. I got the mic. They can come in down there. Since you want to be the protector, you the patron saint of you the protected patron saint. Oh, all I'm saying is I wanted to know what's the phenomena. A guy like me?
Alan,
no. I'm not talking to you.
Truth be told, you don't care what the phenomenon is. That truth be told, you just show you. Do you? Hold on. Let me rephrase it. Let me.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
Do you even?
Do you see what I'm talking about? I wouldn't ask the question that I didn't care. See you again.
Well, if you care,
hey, sir. Hey,
since you care, allow me to explain.
Excuse me, sir. I don't. Excuse me. I posed that question to the boom boom room. This is what you can do though, right? If you want to, but you just told me again. You just put something in my mind. I don't care. Jimmy, you're not a skin diver. You don't know nothing about me and telling me about what I care. You don't. I'm not. So hold up. I made a statement the other day. I said something you might know about, and you had a tizzy about it. Now you telling me what I don't. Come on, man. You can't tell a person.
I wiped the chalkboard clean, and you missed your ear. You did like this when I said it. I came back and asked and posed the statement in the form of a question. I wiped that off the chalkboard. I said, no. Let me ask you the question. Do you even care about the phenomenon?
Yes, I care. That's why I asked the question.
Okay, so then.
Excuse me. Normally, when a person asks a question, it wasn't a rhetorical question. It was a question that I wanted to know what the phenomenon was. You haven't explained it. Lori hadn't explained it, and Trey haven't explained it. Neither one of y'all explained it yet.
Hundreds of thousands of people are stricken to their houses. This is one of the things that they can do. The next best thing for a lot of people to do in order to get their minds off going crazy. Do you realize that according to the stats that was released on yesterday, in the city of Houston, I'm not talking about the nationwide, not mention New York, because that's where he's from, and I mean from the East Coast, they got their own set of problems that's magnified. But in Houston, crime, domestic violence is spiking upward over the past week in Houston. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. As a result of families being together for extended amounts of time and people getting on each other's nerves, already spikes upward. This morning, the city released the stats for the areas of Houston that have the highest odds, or as far as risk is concerned, of catching or being exposed to the coronavirus. The highest risk. And guess what side of town? Guess what area of town is the number one most riskiest part to get exposed to the virus? It's the northeast side of town that is encompassed by Homestead, City Gas, Northwood Manor, up in that section, the 20%. Matter of fact, let me pull it up for you guys. This is what's going on right now.
So
20%.
So it's 331 million people in the world. Okay, I mean, excuse me, in the United States. But take a few mil, and 100,000 was on there last night. And because I'm trying to parallel what you're talking about, since we're going, I'm trying to parallel. I'm not even on the screen. I'm trying to parallel what I hope you trying to bring these two stories together. That if they're at home listening to D Nice, maybe they won't have domestic violence. Is that's what you're saying?
No, absolutely. And maybe they're not.
Okay,
Maybe
but
they're
guess
not.
what?
Maybe they're not out being exposed. That's the part. The other part I'm tying to this.
Okay, but
that
thank you,
means
Trey Phillips. Trey Phillips said no commercial breaks. Okay, but if I'm playing my own music, I don't have no commercial breaks. No commercial break for the jam session. I'm looking for I'm looking for solutions. You can go and find your stuff you got to find. Because I wanted to know what the phenomena is. He united the world. So he united the world. So you said D Nice united the world the other day? No,
music is the common denominator for the entire world. Music.
Okay, Laura said I did Black Pandora. You didn't have to watch. You can listen. Okay, okay. See, all that stuff you talking about. I'm just trying to learn. Hold up. Who else said something? Okay, the phenomenon is listening.
Tell me. So if I say the same thing that one of them just said, you just say all the stuff you're talking about.
The phenomenon is listening to
one of them saying, know what you say? All the stuff you're talking about, I ain't listening to that. So that means what I'm saying. So how do you know what I am saying?
You talking about domestic violence.
Dude, domestic violence is upward. It's spiking upward. I'm explaining to you what music does.
Jimmy,
that's why people was enjoying it.
Okay.
People was enjoying it.
So make your point about domestic violence. I think that's what you're trying to make now.
Making a point about it. I just explained to you that I gave you a statistic that was released by our city and our police departments on yesterday. It was in the Houston Chronicle.
Okay.
And then this morning, I'm giving you another stat that was released by our city as well. And that is in regards to the parts of town which people live in, and the highest percentage of their residents who are at risk of hospitalization due to coronavirus. So when my point is on these particular numbers, it's understood that the poorest areas are more likely to not have their private doctors accessible to them. The poor areas, which includes the Channelview, well, they said the downtown East End area. That's right northeast of downtown. That part where the Nymphas and all that. That's the East End. Well, over about all the way extending outward towards the Austin High School. The Northline South Acres home area is the fourth at-risk area. They say in that area, 13% of the residents. And I mentioned to you guys a while ago that the East Little York, City Gas, the Homestead area, 20% of the residents, that's 1 out of 5, are at risk, or at the highest risk of the coronavirus. Other areas that are mentioned in this list is the Fort Bend area, Humble, Atascocita, both of them are 13%. Galena Park, Jacinto City, 13%. Spring Valley, that's out in West Houston, 13%. Kingwood, Lake Houston, about Dewson Park, all the way to the back of Humble, 12%.
So that's telling you, I got a question. Is that telling that them people that, okay, you giving all that information, right? Those are the high risk areas. Why are these areas high risk?
Well, number one is those are the people who are probably least likely to have the at the beginning of it to go and get tested, to have the insurance in place to go get tested in a lot of those areas.
It ain't about being tested, Jimmy. Those people, you saying they have it, right? Those people, the percent.
That 20. No. They're saying those are the numbers of the percentage of the at risk, not who have it already. they have their own formula, which they have factors in place that it would meet. One would probably be, I don't know what the formula.
Jimmy, don't you know getting tested don't help you? All it tells you is no, you have it. But the preventive maintenance, the preventive thing is the thing I got on this show 3 weeks ago and told everybody social distance. And people, including yourself, kind of looked at me like I was crazy. I'm going to go to the barbershop. I'm going to do everything. I want to do everything. I'm going to do, ain't nothing going to change to me till Lil Pookie get it. So I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I'm looking at this thing, and you gave me all those stats. I'm talking about what if those people in that area had a practice social distancing or washing their hands? Are those people over there the reason it's a propensity to spread because of their hygiene?
Not necessarily. They say
because a lot of people can't get tested for it, Jim, because it just ain't.
One of the things which they used is the percentage of residents, according to the study.
Yeah.
The percentage of residents in the neighborhoods that are over 60 years old.
Okay, older people. Okay, so
that's
all right. Older people. Okay, all right. Okay.
So, and once again, if I start thinking about it, there's a lot of 60-year-olds in my neighborhood and over. Every other house has one.
Let me tell you something that hit home. Hit home. You know how we so close people to me. She contracted it. Very important woman, powerful woman. She contracted it and put it on Facebook. And I know this family real well, but I haven't seen them in a while, but I know the family real well. I'm gonna show you how close it is. Her sister's hairdresser got it from one of her other clients whose husband was a pharmacist and he contracted it from somebody. I'm just showing y'all how this stuff can happen. Your hairdresser, your hairdresser's one of her other clients. Her husband got it. So that means the wife got it. And the husband got it from, he's a pharmacist, I guess in close proximity to where he works. This hit close to home. If this was during basketball season, I would have been around that family. Because I've been to a few of their games. So this how close this thing is to us. You remember I had the Dr. Medley on, and the doctor said, it's not that you go around trying to pretend or that you don't want to get the virus or try to govern your life according to where you don't want to get the virus. You should be governing your life where you don't want to spread it. If you got it, pretend you have it, and you don't want to give it to nobody else. That's the key to this thing. Pretend you have it, and you won't give it. That's the key. So I understand, and thank you for those stats. Great stats. But back to what I was saying, I just really, I didn't understand it. I wanted to know what the phenomenon was because guess, maybe I'm not a music buff. I even preface it as saying, Robert, if I had a choice of listening to music or a radio talk show in my car, you go out in any one of my cars right now, it's going to have a radio talk show on or a talk show on. I don't listen to music as much. So maybe I just, that's why I asked the question, Jimmy. What's the phenomenon? I wasn't trying to down nobody for watching no music. I listen to no music. I just didn't understand why would people sit up and do that. I just don't understand. That's all. Are you done? What's the next topic?
I'm looking now in the boom boom room and want to remind you guys coming up in roughly about 45 minutes, we got a special treat for you guys. And special treat, we're going to be joined, we're expected to be joined by a guy who's pretty popular in among the basketball circles of N1 out of Chicago and as well as in H-Town in the
What time?
Amateur basketball sector.
What time he's coming on?
It'll be about half past the hour. I'd say about 45 minutes from now.
Oh, 45. Oh, 45. All right.
And meanwhile, I want to give speaking of, we was talking on the heels of the COVID-19, former Humble high school coach and also former Dekaney. He was the first high school coach at Dekaney High School when they first opened their doors, Phil Eaton. And got word on yesterday that he was in ICU as a result of the COVID-19 like symptoms. So he's the principal at the school that made it to the 5A regional tournament a couple of weeks ago. Lake Creek High School. Phil Eaton is the principal over there. Good people. I remember when they first opened the doors, they opened Dekaney High School. When he was over there, he allowed us to come in there and I think we had the Super 16 extravaganza at that location. Those were during the days when of Rashid Suleiman and the Harrison twins. That was probably the only time that they played together with straight Jesuit jerseys on, because when the scholastic season came, they had a policy that straight Jesuit ninth graders could not play varsity because of the strenuous workload. So I want to reach out and send our well wishes for Coach Phil Eaton, who's in ICU.
I got something too, Jimmy. It was some unique stuff that happened last night, and during this coronavirus situation, as members of the 76ers coaching staff and front office, they had been contacted Thursday. They have until Thursday to agree to a 20% salary reduction. Philadelphia 76ers, and I think they own the hockey team, I think, too. There's apprehensions about committing to giving money back, especially when uncertainty surround people's employment. So that's, but it was some stuff that happened. Oh, here it is. Let me show you how this corona thing is affecting people, man. I saw some, and we got past it, Jimmy. And I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna talk about it before Mo get on the air. Jamal Murray, the guard from the Denver Nuggets, was on Instagram stories about 3 a.m. on Saturday morning, Jimmy. And he may or may not posted a video of himself experiencing the act of fellatio. Okay? And then he followed up with a tweet that said his system was hacked. That didn't mean to get out. It was a picture of him and his girlfriend, in a sex act. And what I'd like to ask the Boom Boom Room is, okay, on I think it's on Instagram stories. That's the little thing at the top. You could not see his face on the video. Okay. And with a lot of this idle time that NBA players are having, I just want to know what y'all think about it. You know, I just want to know what, people spend so, and what I do know, Jimmy, people like in this downtime that we trying to navigate through these things, it's hackers with a lot of energy is out here trying to hack star stuff now. So, I'm not sure. But one thing I do have to say about Jamal, he's enjoying the lockout. He's practicing load management. I see. But you know what some people were calling me, Jimmy? These some low down grown people calling me, talking about they were judging the girls' skills. So it's great. Yeah, they were judging. I mean, I don't know if y'all heard of it, but what I do know and what I can comprehend and what I can foresee, Jimmy, the population. You talking about this domestic violence? The population is going to increase. What's these few months right here? Remember these few months here, Jimmy. So at the end of 9 months, the population, I think, will increase in this thing. So I mean, you talking? I was laughing. You made me think about when you said domestic violence is up. It's a lot of other stuff up in these households too. So Todd Holmes. It's crazy. Little girl, a beautiful a young girl. She was a volleyball player at the University of Kentucky. I got her name here. What's her name? Excuse me. I don't like to say Hempel. Her last name Hempel. What's her first name? Harper. Harper Hempel. And guess what, Jimmy? It's a newsflash. The girlfriend of Jamal Murray, she issued a plea for the fans on Sunday. She wants you to delete. She wants you to delete this text. If you get it, Jimmy, don't be over there watching it. She wants you to delete it, Jimmy.
I'm down with Ashley Jones on this one. Ashley says it was an accident. Famous people always say that as an excuse. They always say every time they use that I was hacked, somebody hacked my stuff.
Jimmy, this is girlfriend, who he's quarantined with. I don't think he wanted that one out.
I understand that. I'm talking about the act of when it gets out, people always use it as an excuse. I was hacked. Instead of, guess what? You showed it to somebody and you didn't think that y'all might have been all right and somebody else showed it to somebody.
Jimmy, you can't load. It had to loaded up on his Instagram story. That's the story that after you look at it, it vanishes.
Okay, but who's to say that I don't look at it and I don't know because I'm not on Instagram like that. But if you sent me something, isn't it possible for me to have one phone and record off my other phone if I'm watching it? Is that possible?
Yeah.
If that's possible, then hell, you got hacked, all right. That's what you want to call hacked. But I'm
see, Trey, thank you. Trey gave me some sensibility to it. Trey been around them young people a lot. Trey said he was recording because you have to actually record the stories. I ain't talking about at the bottom, Jimmy.
I'm not on Instagram.
Okay, let me explain to you.
Idea how the Instagram.
Hold up. The stories at the top. You have to actually record them in the story. You can't record it then put in the story. He recorded it in the story, but that was dumb. That was dumb.
So for the sympathy,
and hit the wrong button.
I mean, hell, exactly. So
I'm not having no sympathy. I'm not having no sympathy. I just said these NBA players with their downtown time is are really experiencing some load management. I mean, he getting his load managed. And hold up, I got one more. The famed gentlemen of the men's club in Atlanta, Jim, Magic City. I don't know about you. I don't know about nobody else, but this is a place when I was younger and wasn't able to go in, Jimmy, this was one of the places that I aspired to say, man, I want to go in there at least once. Okay? Just like the Freaknik, you want to do it once. Guess what they're now offering, Jimmy? Virtual lap dances for $20. Magic City. Magic City is now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all, I can't make this up. It's offering virtual lap dances for $20.
Well, there's a place that has Magic City beat then. In Oregon, there's a strip club in Oregon because of course the governor shut everything down.
Gentlemen's Club.
Yeah, what they want to be referred to, but you know, we call them, you know, the pole vault, whatever you want.
What about a Oasis?
How about this? The owner of that one got so creative. You know, you have now a lot of the restaurants can only carry out. So he has his strippers to do the deliveries. And they were going to do it topless, but he thought about it because, you know, maybe kids answering the door. So they put the little thing right over the nipples. But they have a security guy that's on the ride, and the deliveries are $30 if you order a burger basket or burger and fry. So obviously, like a lot of strip clubs, and even Magic City, you know, they sell
Food.
short orders inside of those.
They said what?
Short orders.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
you know, burgers, fries,
Yes.
chicken wings, and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, so this place is still operating, and business is picking up every day from a lot of their customers. Think about it: $30 for the delivery, and you order
Wait a
the
minute,
burger.
additional 30.
30 is for the delivery.
But they got to do most work. All them girls got to do is get up in.
But when they get there, they're gonna.
No, Jimmy, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
No. That's what I'm just. I read the article. I read the article this morning out of the newspaper up there, and it say when they get there, they do like because it's kind of chilly. You know, the weather is not as warm here, so they got to take their jacket off and they'll give them a little shake or a little, you know. And
Okay.
that's understand. My point of bringing that
Jimmy,
point up.
but they should be practices social. You got to get a 6-foot rule when you get in the house, right?
And they're saying they're adhering to the 6 foot. No, they're not going inside.
Oh,
They're at the door on the outside.
at the door, just open it up and.
Get your little old peek and go on about their business. Remember now, they said they had no problem except for one lady wanted to give one of the strippers a hug, and the bouncer got in the way and said, no, we're not making no cut. So it's coming into form. My point is, think about this, guys. Can you only imagine a city like Greater Houston? I'm not sure if you knew it or not. Give you another stat, and I reminded you on the chop. I produced this stat on the Chop Shop before that Harris County has the most DBAs permits on the wall for down as far as cabarets is what they go up under. We have more strip clubs, applications of certification or approvals from the permits than any other county in the United States. I'm not sure if you knew that.
I think they call them SIBs, sexual explicit businesses.
I'm not sure.
They got a moniker for it. SIBs, I think.
So that means if we have the most, then it's all likelihood, it's very probable that we may have the most strippers. Maybe not. And we have the most businesses. Now, my point is, think about all of those ladies are out of work right now.
That's right.
That's what I'm getting to.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
And all of those people, the thing about them is that it's a different dynamic because they're going to get a check from the government. You're going to have to produce something.
Jimmy,
if when they ever approve and agree on this stuff, with that they keep hanging and playing
they
ping
pay
pong.
taxes, Jimmy. They pay taxes because they get a salary, but the salary, that little medium salary, that goes to the government.
Them people get like $2.50.
I know, but they paying something.
They not. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
But what you make ain't what you reporting. All of their money comes in the form of cash. They have the option, which they're supposed to report all their earnings, but come on. Just like barbers. Now the thing is with barbers now,
they're on the app.
They're going. A lot of them are going
to that app thing.
That means now the government can easily have a easier manner of which calculating their earnings, because they have to the apps that they use they're going to produce their numbers at the end of the quarter.
Jimmy, look at Anissa Seville. Look at Anissa Seville. She said, ladies out of work equal more money to take care of stuff at home. Anissa, she must be married. Nissa must be married. Jimmy, that's a good one right there. Wow. But Jimmy, you know what? I passed by Starbucks. It's closed. Jimmy, I passed by Marble Slab. It's closed. Man, just direct. This crazy. It was some young kids were working in them. It's crazy, man.
And those people are now scrambling to find, because a lot of people whom are laid off, that's part of this. That's why a lot of people are fighting, and they're jousting on back and forth before approving this funding from the government. Is that one side is trying to fight for small businesses to retain a lot of the people that's been laid off, and they'll get a lot of breaks. In other words, if you want these breaks, you're not going to get this stimulus for certain companies, and then you still done laid off all your people. That means who's this helping? So that's the thing about. You got to realize, man, the workforce. A lot of people are not working right now, and after a period of time, you can only imagine what happens. There are some people that's not even willing to give a forbearance on the rent. I'm learning that. There are people, everybody, it's not automatic. There are some owners, there are some that's giving 3-4 months of forbearance. Meaning they have to pay no bill. And there are some saying, hey man, you know what? I gotta pay. You gotta pay. What those people, what happens now? You think, dude, when people get in panic mode, they will do almost anything.
Jimmy, have you been to the gun store lately?
The guns are scarce.
Ammo too.
Scarce. Because people think that there may be some civil unrest if indeed worse get the worst. And people gonna try to get it how they live. Get it out the mud. And a lot of people are afraid. So anyway, let's talk as promised today. TABC released their all-state teams.
Okay.
The all-state teams. These are of the high schools or the public schools we're talking about first. And each of those lists has approximately 20 players on the all-state team. So that's of each classification. In Texas, our highest classification is 6A. It goes all the way down to 1A. Well, guess what? So in 6A, want to give, as far as Greater Houston players, there's a half dozen of young men made the list from Greater Houston. L.J. Cryer from Martin Ranch High School, Dalen Hamilton from Klein Forest High School.
Hold on, Jimmy. Hold on. Okay, all right, come on.
Justin Hill from Travis High School, Tremont Mark from Dickinson High School, Marcus Williams from Dickinson High School, and Javon Jackson from Summer Creek High School. Javon Jackson is, of those 6, he's the only 11th grader. The other 5 are seniors. Uh, and the 2 young men from Dickinson are the only 2 of the 20 that who are from the same high school. So that's 6 from Greater Houston selected to the all-state team.
That's how many from Houston?
From 6.
6 in 5. 5. I mean 6 in 6A.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 and 6A.
Jimmy, that's remarkable though. You know, 2 guys off the same team. That's but when we go into this next class, we got 2 guys off the same team in that class too, and I found that very interesting. But keep going.
Now, in 5A, Greater Houston has 5 young men who was in from Region 3.
Okay.
From Greater Houston. And those 5 are Ramon Walker from Shadow Creek, Pierce Spencer from Lake Creek, Kenneth Lofton Jr. from Port Arthur Memorial, Hayden Hefner from Nederland, and Bryce Griggs from Hightower High School. And of those 5 young men, 3 are seniors and 2 are a junior and a sophomore, respectively. So that's 5 from 5A of the 20. Now in 4A, Greater Houston has 7 players that were selected to the all-state team by the TABC.
How many?
7.
7 in 4A?
Yeah.
Okay.
And those 7, Braylon Bush from Silsby High School, Jordan Ivy Curry from Lamarck High School, Reuben Jones from Yates High School, Antoine Norman from Yates High School, Damari Williams from Fulshire High School, and Dalen Presley from Stafford High School, who made it to state. So those 7, shout out to all those guys and their programs and their coaches. That's a total, that brings total from Greater Houston among those 3 classifications to 18 of the 60 from Greater Houston. So want to bring up a point. I think Jeffrey Day on yesterday's show, he had reminded us and brought up the numbers and published, according to him, I didn't go back and add them up or to proof it, but according to Jeffrey Day, he says that DFW has a total of 15 selected from those 3 classifications, and which is less than Greater Houston in 2 of the 3. Houston has 6 in 6A, DFW had 5, which is pretty much a wash. In 5A, Houston had 5, DFW had 7. But in 4A, Greater Houston had 7, DFW had 3. So for those out there, the question that I want to toss with you guys, and tomorrow, according in respect, we're going to look up and acknowledge the girls that made the All-State on Women Rock Wednesday, for Trey Phillips and a lot of you guys, and Chuck and Anissa and all you. But does this mean that Greater Houston is not as bad or down as maybe you've been led to believe? Or is DFW is not as good as you've been led to believe? Because if they were that good, then why aren't more on the All-State teams. Just tossing it out there.
Toss it out there, Jimmy. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah. And thanks. Yes, I miss Jacob Harvey. Thanks a bunch, Jeffrey Day. So Jeffrey Day, Jacob
For
Harvey.
what class, Jimmy?
That's for the 4A.
So that's a 8?
No. That's 7. I only named 6 guys.
Oh, okay.
Jacob Harvey is the 7th. I forgot to name him. But now that's the question. Once again, if DFW is that good, then the reflections of the selections to the All-State teams are not. Now, meanwhile, here's the let me give you the disclaimer. How these All-State teams are selected. First, you have all districts, and when they meet, I explained to you guys a couple of weeks ago, when they have the state tournament, they have the TABC meetings at that time during the state tournament. They all meet, and they vote at that time. Well, you can get nominated for the all region team, but to make all state, your coach, your head coach must be an active member of TABC. Mm-hmm. So that's the catch. So if there's a player, right, that's not all state, and you may have felt that it's without a doubt this young man is supposed to be on that all state team, you may want to go and ask that head coach, are you an active member of the TABC? Because before you get pissed off and start to unleash or unload your frustrations in the wrong direction, it may be solved right near you at your nearby school. And so now, check out some of the comments on the Boom Boom Room. And shout out to John Smith, just joined us from San Antonio.
What up, Coach?
He says Wagner got 2. San Antonio Wagner.
Yeah, absolutely. But we were talking about Houston, man.
But we'll give Wagner props because they come down and play in a couple of events down in Houston. But San Antonio Wagner, I think, is the only 5A school with 2 players, teammates, selected to the All-State. If I'm not mistaken, they're the only 5A school. So shout out, one of 2 5A schools, because obviously Lancaster out of Dallas, DFW, have 2 with Wade Taylor and Mike Miles. Now, the question is, I'm looking right now, Kerry say the Houston kids are undervalued and not given the credit they deserve, in my opinion. Well, and that's a blanket statement, I would think, because that can apply in every city, because not given the credit that they deserve. Remember now, I preached this sermon and explained this to you guys. When kids, once the summer ball come and they play 17 and under, it's hard to ignore understand, especially if you're on a sneaker circuit, because that means that it is what it is. That's why I said you have a choice of where you're going to play at. For many people, some people don't have a choice. Most don't have a choice. Only a selected few are invited to play on a 17U sneaker circuit, and only a select few of those select few actually play. There's a lot of guys that look good when they wearing them, walking through the airport or going through the layup line, but that actually play. That's another select few. That goes to maybe 7 of them 7 to 8 per team. So if it's how many sneaker teams on the 17U in Greater Houston, we have what, 3 right now? 17U, 3. One Under Armour, Houston Defenders, one Nike, Houston Hoops, one Adidas, Team Harden. Only 3. So that's roughly about that plays out of those. So it's 8 in the rotation.
Jimmy, Ricky Scott got a good question. Was Crosby's coach not a member?
He probably wasn't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you who's a member of the Houston Area Basketball Coaches Association.
Yeah, but we know that.
I'm just letting people know. I can tell you that. I can't tell you who's a member or who's not a member of TABC. I can't, meaning that I don't have the intel at my disposal. Now, I can go and find out for you guys. That's what I meant when I say I can't tell you. I don't have it. So that's a possibility because PJ Haggerty definitely did enough to be all state. So that may be the reason. If you go, but somebody has to go and ask. Now, meanwhile, that same thing can apply. Do you guys think that David Green is not a member from Beaumont United? Because I don't see Kason Harrison. He was on the all-region team. Kason Harrison, Beaumont United, was ranked number 2 in the state for most of the year, and no other player on that team has a Division I offer. So, he's the reason.
And he didn't make it?
He didn't make it. So could David Green? Think about it. The kid Javon Jackson made All-State. Kason Harrison did.
Now that's is Kason Harrison coach a member?
That's what I'm saying. David Green is the head coach. He used to be the coach at Hightower when they went to state with Daniel House and those guys. So I don't know. But if he is a member, then whoa.
How much politics go in this particular section that you could think about?
It goes in a lot. A lot of the times, a lot of coaches in from year to year, certain coaches that's on that committee, the regional committee, they would reach out and they would ask different people, hey, what are your thoughts? Give me who would make your all region from Houston?
Well, guess what I'm going to do with you? If somebody wants somebody in, who do you take out? I learned that from you a long time ago. To put somebody in, you got to take somebody out. Even if these guys, let's pretend these guys, the guys we named, I guess PJ Haggerty, Kason Edwards, who would you take out?
That's for all state.
I'm talking about for all state. Who would you take out?
State. For which one of the players you mentioned? 2 or 3 of them? Which one?
I mentioned because people seem to be talking about Kason. Kason Harrison? Okay, yeah. It was in question. And when the guy mentioned Crosby, I know he was talking about PJ. Do we have enough? So if you take those 2 guys and put them in, the people. Now I'm not for you, Jimmy. That ain't for you. You to say. It's for the guys. Who would you take out to put those 2 guys in? Because if you put them in, 2 guys got to come out. And that's how you do it, Jimmy?
Well, somebody got to come out. So if you're willing to go on the ledge like that, for some people, that's a question that you pose.
Yeah, I'm posing to the people.
Or is that, because the thing is, it's kind of who from this region? Because that means I know that a lot of people hadn't seen all 20 of these guys from around the state. So you don't really know what all 20 of the players have produced this year. So
I got you. Because guess what? You're right. So a lot of these guys, you probably know.
Who from your region? Is there somebody from this region?
Okay, I got
that you would replace. Just give respect and say that everybody else from the other regions are legit.
Jimmy, is there a certain number? All the numbers consistent? Like the number from 5A, the number from, it's 20 guys on each one, right?
I'm guesstimating.
Kerry Holmes. You can't expand the list. Let's say, I guess you one of the ones who wanted. Take somebody out of our region and put, if you want your guy in, who you want out. You can't expand the list. It's 20, all the way around. You can't move the goalposts, Kerry Holmes. So all you do now is say, okay, let me look on this list and see in each classification that your guy who you felt was slighted in, and go to that place and look at the guys in that region and see who he should be in and who out. That's all. That's kind of simple. I would love to see. Herb Baker, somebody just texted me the exact same thing that Herb Baker just said. Somebody just texted me that, Jimmy, just now. Javon Jackson wouldn't have made it if Kadeem makes the list.
You say Kadeem?
Wasn't that Kaysen? I'm sorry. Kaysen makes the list. I got to put my glasses on. I can't see that. That's Herb. Somebody just texted me that. Herb, they beat you to the punch.
Well, I mean, to say expand the list, I don't necessarily agree with that. If that's theirs, the list was 20 and it's always been 20. And guess what? There's going to be somebody left out. Now, my question is, before you go to that, first order of business is to find out if their coaches are active members. If the coach ain't an active member, then that means
it's a moot point.
One or both of those young men probably would have made the list. Everybody's not a member. I mean, one year it happened to Greg Wise with Yates. Greg Wise wasn't a member. 1 year. I mean, back about a decade ago, because that's when I first posed the question and found out some details. Like, well, he's not a member. That's why his kids wasn't made. And this was during that time when that team and had all of the 2010, 2009 around that time.
And Ricky Scott coming some could be second team. Man, it ain't our state. No, man, come on now. There you go with that participation trophy stuff. Come on, Ricky Scott. This stuff been going on for years. Now, when your guy gets slighted, no, he just didn't make it this time. Guess what? He need to be balling so good this next year, then maybe he'll make it. That's all. He didn't make it this time.
John Smith, who's one of the coaches at San Antonio Wagner, guys, he said he sips his tea while reading the comments. Says, because I saw Beaumont United and Kaysen Harrison is definitely All-State. I mean, that could be the reason.
Who said that?
John Smith says He saw. And remember that John Smith was also just 2 years ago.
Was a college coach.
A Division I college coach. So, I mean, and that may not, but actually, I mean, it validates his status saying I saw Beaumont. I mean, he had evaluated them and saw. But that doesn't mean, one of the things is, once again, if the coach was not an active member.
It's a
and TABC, what they do is, after the regional teams are announced, when they are selecting the all-state players, if there's a player that gets selected, they will reach out to the head coach and give him an opportunity to sign up, retroactive and become an active member. They'll give him a chance. Hey, man, your kid, we're going to put him in, because you can't make the all-star game for the TABC convention, which take place on the weekend of May the 14th, unless you are all-state. You have to be a senior for that.
Jimmy, you just made me think about something. If the Final Four Council, and I know but guess what? USA basketball has been canceled. Ain't nobody mentioned that. USA basketball, they were supposed to have something down at the Final Four. All of that's canceled too.
Absolutely. All of that's canceled.
Wow.
And the Olympics is officially postponed.
Oh, yeah. It's postponed. Yeah.
To 2021. Then think about how hard they were fighting back.
Oh, my God.
Tokyo was fighting tooth and nail to not push that thing back. And eventually the egg hatched, and they couldn't do nothing. They had no choice. And but that's the thing. I mean, I wanted to explain to you guys, that's pretty much the all-state teams. And hopefully remember, if you missed it over the weekend, the UIL released their statement about the state tournament, and they're saying they're working to try to complete the state tournament. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but they're working on it. The head of the UIL, Charles Breithaupt, he was the head coach back in the days, in the glory days, for Hardin Jefferson High School. So he was the coach, and guys like Neil Laminack and all them played for Charles Breithaupt back in the days. And so he's very familiar and has a special place in his heart for the sport of basketball. He could have very well been a football coach, but hoops is in his blood, and it's pumping through his blood. So they're going to try. And once again, I say if there's a weekend that it could happen, because TABC has yet to cancel their convention. Mind you, just pay attention. TABC hadn't canceled their convention yet. So why not? That may be part of the plan that they're maybe pursuing and trying to go it on and encompass and kill two birds with one stone and have complete the state tournament alongside the TABC convention, which is held in San Antonio during once again, May the 14th through the 16th weekend. And don't forget, guys, we got coming up shortly, Mo Elrod is going to join us. Told you we had a special treat for you. Mo Elrod, Maurice Elrod. Of course, you guys remember him from high school hopefuls back in the days. And then transcended into the screen directing forte. Also, simultaneously navigating his bandwidth into the shooting machine sector, which they have a portable shooting machine, and it's gaining traction. I saw some of the videos, and it's a neat concept called The Grind. We'll talk with Mo about it and about his journey, about how basketball coming from Chicago, moving to Houston, a lot of the differences, a lot of the things that's, as far as under the fabric of grassroots basketball, as far as a lot of the things that it's going to have a great combo with it. So get your questions ready for Mo Elrod. Meanwhile, I want to give, you guys remember back in the old days, Texas A&M, David Edwards passed away, former point guard for Texas A&M. I think he's the all-time career assist leader with after experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. So David Edwards has passed away at a young age. He was in his 40s, man, right? If I'm not mistaken.
And Jimmy, I'd like to have a special shout out too to Pacific head coach, the Pacific head coach, Damon Stoudemire, is the recipient of the 2019-2020 Ben Jobe Award, which is presented annually to the top Division I minority coach. And shout out to Damon Stoudemire. He has been a guest on our show, the Chop Shop. And shout out to that young man that he went out and resuscitated a program that was, Jimmy, was NCAA violations. They had to take away some scholarships and stuff like that. It was a place that people say you couldn't win. Ben Jobe is the legendary coach from Southern University. Thank you, Kevin Freidman. And I'm just so proud of Damon, Jimmy, because I've seen his plight. I've seen him at his lowest. I've seen him at his highest. At his birthday, at my birthday party. That's where he met his wife at my birthday party, and I'll never forget it. And just shout out to a young man that I've watched grow from a young guy. I was at the draft with him. And went up to the first person that first player that the Toronto Raptors had ever drafted. Came back home. He played for the Memphis Grizzlies. Then coached for the Memphis Grizzlies, my hometown team. He also building relationships in the Memphis area. Was assistant coach for Josh Pastner at the Memphis Tigers. So it's unbelievable journey for a young man, who used to come spend all his summers here in Houston and train. He used to be always, Jimmy. What I loved about Damon Stoudemire, he was always the first player back. If they lose in the playoffs, well, he used to lose a lot first. So he was always the first person back in the city to be in Fondy and working out at the gym. I remember that. He's always the first guy in the gym or was the last to leave. Unbelievable career for that guy. And Jimmy, somebody said, you on mute?
Good. That's a great shout out to Damon Stoudemire and the Ben Jobe Award. Of course, Ben Jobe is the legendary head coach of Southern University, the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. And so to have a name in his honor is definitely a great, in a secondary, a great thought as well. But meanwhile, as promised, we are joined right now on the Chop Shop with Mo Elrod and with The Grind. And of course, Mo Elrod, the screenwriter, Mo Elrod, I guess the OG of Greater Houston's mixtape sector. And of course, you're joined by you got somebody else on the line. I hear two voices. Who was on the line with you, Mo?
Yes, sir. Mr. Hicks, how you doing, man? Thanks for having us. This is Maurice Elrod, as you mentioned. And I got the founder and CEO, man, of Grind, Mr. Thomas Fields on the line.
How you doing, Mr. Hicks?
Of Reagan Heights
Okay.
High School. I guess it's called Heights now, but, formerly Reagan.
And so Thomas Fields.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Hicks?
Yeah, you played a little basketball. Didn't you have a brother that played?
I didn't have a brother that played. I was the oldest in my group, but I do have a brother now that is currently at Heights High School now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
And
he's not hooping or nothing.
And of course, now we got Robert Hatter and myself, Jim Hicks. We got on the line. We got Thomas Fields.
What's up, Mo? What's up, Thomas? I was just waiting on y'all to get that out the way. What's going on, gentlemen?
How y'all doing?
Thank you. Mr. Hatter, how you doing, sir?
What's going on?
So man, let's get right to it. I mean, of course, this Grind. Explain us what this concept come from, and how the hell did you influence Mo Elrod? Because he don't give many people the time of day. He has stuff going on, all type of things on his plate. He got collard greens on the plate, sweet potatoes. He got cornbread on the plate. He got baked fish over here. So how did you come up with this concept, the Grind, and what is the Grind for people that's out there listening? A lot of high school coaches are listening as well, and college coaches alike.
Yeah, man. I can't believe I got Mo. I was super excited when Mo came and reached out to me. But I'll get into that a little later. I know I started Grind as I believe I was a 19-year-old basketball player going to Reagan High School in the inner city, Houston. And really, it all came about from trying to solve my own problems. Early on in my career as a basketball player, I played varsity all 4 years. I was ranked. I was in the circuit, AAU circuit, high school circuit, and I was a regular kid trying to chase my dream and go D1 and do what I love for the rest of my life, play basketball. And then sophomore year, I came upon a injury that really kind of changed the trajectory of everything I was doing. And I blew out my knees. I had ACL surgery, meniscus surgery, all at once. So it was kind of a devastating time, really, really tough. I had to recover from it as a sophomore on varsity. But it really changed my trajectory as a basketball player. I was working out 5 a.m., trying to come back, doing my therapy, twice a day. Came back really, I was a 5'10" junior, started dunking, and came down from a dunk wrong my junior year and re-tore my ACL. So it was injury after injury for me in my high school career. And after that second ACL tear, I was really, yearning to get into the gym. So I was still on my 5 a.m. grind, getting up early, trying to get up 500 shots a day. And Reagan had recently just bought a shooting machine at that time. And I was just in love with it. I was like, man, I got to use this machine every single day, before practice, after practice. But I came into a huge problem, which I felt like a lot of kids came into, where they didn't have access, even though the school had it. You had to wait for coach to unlock the gym. During practice, you don't really use it because y'all running up and down. So I really felt that, the basketball sports equipment market was neglecting us athletes, and they were creating products for teams and only coaches, but weren't really focusing on the athletes and the coaches and the trainers. So I thought of this idea, and I was like, man, let me try to buy it. The thing was like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 at the time, and we didn't have that kind of money. So I was like, man, what if I could just create my own and make it affordable for athletes? And from that point, my design kind of instincts, I'm a creative person. My dad always had me building things. So I was like, man, what if I could build it for, perfectly for athletes? Like, what if Nike made one of these shooting machines? I feel like Nike would have created it in a duffel bag. So that's where the idea of making the shooting machine affordable and portable to fold into a duffel bag came from.
And of course now you guys do you have a website, and how have people been receiving the grind since you guys just released it earlier this month?
Yeah. We launched March 1st, and it's been amazing. Everybody can find us. We got our website, grindbasketball.com, and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is all the same, Grind Basketball. So yeah, everybody can find us there. But it's amazing whenever you see people in the basketball community hear about the product. It's one thing. I've been working on Grind for about 5 years, and we're barely launching, right? So it was an extremely tough execution path on trying to re-engineer a shooting machine to fit into a duffel bag. So, it's amazing to see athletes' reactions, to the machine when they say you walk in with a bag and they turn around and it's a shooting machine within a minute or two, right? So they're extremely impressed and just blown away by the fact that we got into a bag. And that it works, whenever we see coaches and trainers, the reliability aspect and the performance aspect is really important to them. And it was important to me as an athlete. So, I made sure that our shooting machine, didn't sacrifice quality. And we made sure that it automatically passes the ball back out to the player at the 3-point line, the free throw line. We made sure that it rotates. We had to make some adjustments in terms of how we operate it and everything for cost. So it's a manual rotation device, but it automatically gets your rebounds. You can still get up 1,000 shots in an hour. We really just wanted to make a compelling device and a compelling product, accessible to the people that deserve it in the community.
And I would say, Hicks, man, for me, I've probably been on board now for about 16 to 18 months. And just to kind of see the different versions of the machine. I have a marketing background, although I've done a lot of stuff in things in film. But I found myself, really compelled with the engineering meetings. And I would sit on those just kind of soaking up as much information as possible and just kind of hearing how, certain things work. I've seen a couple of different, versions of the machine of what you guys currently see now. Mr. Thomas's point, he's been at it for 5 years. I think he's probably pitched, his product to investors over 340, 400 times, so he's, the grind is really what he really embodies, right? And kind of really been at it for a while. And to kind of see it all come to light, I mean, we had an article in Slam, we're featured on RCS Sports. We had a video that kind of went viral, man, with the professor a couple of weeks ago, and on Streetball Legend. And so really did, from a marketing angle, that's kind of really where I step in is, trying to really let people know and hear about the product and to see it. Because, again, being able to have the machine fold down to a duffel bag, you reel it off and you put it in your car. It really is accessible for, not only just your players, but there's a lot of trainers nowadays. And if you think about from a high school perspective, most schools only have, one machine because it is expensive. And they're sharing that machine with probably, 4 to 8 different teams, right? So you got the girls and your boys, A, B teams, youth, JV, varsity. So now it kind of opens that market up a little bit, where you can have more machines for players to utilize on the junior high and high school levels, man. So it's, again, for me, I'm a big basketball dude. Everybody knows that. But I really fell in love with just Thomas's story. One, young dude. It kind of reminded me of hearing Illmatic for the first time and knowing that Nas was 18 years old when he wrote that, right? And I'm thinking about when I was 18, I wasn't thinking about starting my own company and, making arguably one of the best albums ever, right, with Illmatic. So to see a young person like Thomas, I just gravitated towards that, man, and fell in love with just the process. And this truly has been a marathon, right? And it's been a hell of a ride so far.
And of course, just tuning in, we got Thomas Fields and Mo Elrod with The Grind. It's a portable shooting machine for individuals. So now, has the COVID-19, has that hindered that, like you just released on March the 1st? Has this thing kind of threw off your schedule of your marketing of your timetable?
And Mr. Hicks, to be honest with you, I think it's affected everybody in the country, nationwide. And it's an amazing time for us, especially me being young and not really having a whole bunch of history. It's always interesting to me whenever older folks, tell me about the past back in the 80s and things like that. Just
when they say back in the day?
When they say back in the day. Yeah, I don't have no back in the day. So this is my back in the day, right? This is the story I'll be telling when I'm older. So it's just really interesting to see all this stuff unfold and how it affects, communities, how it affects businesses, how it's going to affect the economy. And it has affected us in terms of events. We really want to be in every basketball AAU event. We were planning on being at the McDonald's All-American game here in Houston that we were super excited about, that we were going to have a very, very compelling, setup over there. But obviously, the COVID-19 has really just put a halt on everything in the industry. But in a way, it hasn't affected us in terms of all the basketball players, all the trainers still love this game, and they're at the house right now with nothing to do. So, we're consistently seeing orders still roll in because everybody is at the house, not knowing what's going to happen, but they still want to make sure that, they're on top of their grind and they're on top of their sharpening their craft, right, and perfecting what they do. So it has affected us in terms of our marketing strategy, and we've had to kind of adjust and figure out how things are going to pan out. But in terms of sales and and getting awareness out there. I actually think it kind of helps because everybody's at home with less distractions.
Yeah, and I would kind of second that and say that our focus obviously is to build the awareness of the product and the brand. Obviously, sales at this point is as Thomas mentioned, is still coming in, but it's not our sole focus because we obviously know there's a lot more important things that people are focused on and worried about during this time frame. We're obviously sensitive of that, but we also want to make sure that we continue to push the product and push the conversation and get the product out there. And again, just build the awareness. And then once it blows over, hopefully within the next, 2, 3, 4 months, whatever the case may be, we don't lose much momentum, from an awareness perspective.
I got a couple of questions for you, gentlemen. Thomas, this is Robert Hatter. There's a couple of questions that were on. We got a unique platform. I don't know if you're familiar with it, the Chop Shop. We interact with our viewers, okay? Live right now. You're live around the country right now on Facebook and you're on YouTube and live right, in real time. And they got several questions that so one person said, how much? You said affordable. How much is the machine?
So, yeah, it's a great question. So, as most of the community knows, the shooting machines usually go for about $5,000. Mm-hmm. So we decided to bring our price point to about $1,500, so $1,495.
Okay.
We had an early bird special that went on for $995.
Wow.
That's over now. But currently, we got a grind special going on. So if you go to the website, anybody can go to the website right now and see that we got a 10% discount right now. That's going on until April 7th. So people can take advantage of that. And we also just implemented a payment structure, right? So anybody can split a payment. I think Grind is all about understanding our customers and understanding who we are and how we think and how we would like things, right? And how to make things easier for coaches and parents and kids, right? So we have a structure where you can split the payment right on the spot, right? So you can purchase for half of it. Me, you, Mr. Hicks, and Mo can go a 4-way split on it. We can break it down into like an 18-week payment plan. Really, it can get as creative as the player, parent, coach would want to, right? So we're really trying to make it easy and affordable, accessible to our community.
Thomas, let me make this clear, Thomas. The 18-month payment plan. I got a question. That plan is you get the machine and then make the payments, or you make the payments, then you receive the machine?
You'd have to make the payment and then receive the machine.
Okay. That's smart. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to get that clear. I got another thing. What is your turnaround? After I make an order, I give you the full $1,500 today. When is my turnaround?
That's a great question. This is one of the reasons we're doing our discounts. And, we did the early bird special and things like that. We're going to continue to do discounts as we go on. But right now, since, we're an early stage company and building a full-fledged shooting machine for an affordable price, we went ahead and got production and are currently getting production set up. And we needed our upfront capital.
I got
firsthand to go to our manufacturers to place all the orders to put them into production. So we won't be delivering our pre-orders until November of this year.
Okay.
Now, after we deliver those pre-orders this year, we're looking at a turnaround time of about 3 to 5 business days, like a regular product. But as of now, we're doing our pre-order to make sure Grind gets off the ground.
Gotcha.
And we want to make this thing, bigger than just basketball. We want to make it, a game-changing company. So, we got some other things planned on it. So we're excited about that. But yeah, pre-orders won't be going out until November of this year.
Well, we have two questions I want to pose from the Boom Boom Room. A lot of our viewers have questions and interest in the Grind portable basketball shooting machine. First is one of the viewers asked, "Are you guys still accepting any additional investors?" That's one question. And the next question.
We are. Go ahead.
So if so, then make sure you share with the viewers and the listeners how can get in touch with you guys if there's a potential investor that is watching the show right now.
Yeah, it's a great question. So, you can reach out to me personally or Mr. Mo at Thomas@grindbasketball.com. That's my email. And then we have Mo, M-O, @grindbasketball.com. So you could just reach out through an email. I'm very accessible on Instagram, easily to get a hold of. But that's one of the main reasons. And we just start off with the conversation, get a good feel for the investor, and then move forward from there. But yeah, just that's our email there.
And another question is how durable is the Grind? How much does it weigh? And how long is it? So like that way you paint a visual for the listeners and the viewers of this product, because you say it's a portable. So portable means that it can fit in the car, in the trunk, or it has to go on the back of a truck. Let us know. Paint that picture.
Yeah, great question. Great question again. So, I did, me, including the engineers, we did, I believe we did a phenomenal job in getting the portability aspect as low as we can, and not sacrificing the durability. It was an interesting thing we had to weigh, but the machine is about 4 feet long. It is 2 feet tall, and it is 1.5 feet wide. So it could fit in the car, a backseat of a small obviously, it fits a little easier in a truck, in the back of the truck, lay the seat down, or anywhere in the SUV. And the machine, it's the lightest machine in the world, coming in at 100 pounds. So our goal is to really get that down as much as possible. But we did a ton of testing over the past 5 years, and we really don't want to sacrifice the quality of the machine, right? We don't want this thing to be too light where it breaks within X amount of years or X amount of months. So we had to make sure this thing could take some beating and allow people to put in work. So it is 100 pounds. Very durable. We're doing durability testing here in Houston, Texas, with our engineers. Trusted and tested is what we like to say. Trusted and tested. So we're putting it through the ringer over the next couple of months. We've been doing so for the past couple of months. So we're excited to get our product out there and see what everybody. See the grind pay off.
And then also too, with the machine, it also has wheels. So it's easy. It's imagine just having your luggage right when you're in the airport. So it has wheels on the bottom and a handle for you to easily be able to move the 100 pounds. So it's extremely affordable.
And Thomas, I got something for Thomas. Thomas, now it's coming back to me. You were at the Pro-Am with Casey Williams over there in the corner. Yep. This is the same young man, Thomas, that I think somebody introduced me to you. I'm trying to picture it. That's where I first heard about this product. There was a year ago? Almost a year ago. Is this the same Thomas? Huh? Hello?
Yeah, you say just about.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I just wanted to know, because Casey Williams told me that day, I'll never forget it. He said, Robert, a great young man, go over there and meet him. So I just now it just popped in my head that you were the same guy that I met that time. Unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
You've come a long way.
Also, I think also at Hicks' event last, I think it was the event at Houston Christian. I know you were there. And
yes, you were trying to get
in the hallway. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Gotcha.
you know, we've been trying to move around, man, and get into as many events as possible, get in front of people, you know, email distribution list and social media, you know, just trying to again just build the awareness, man. But it's been, like I said, it's been a hell of a ride. And like Thomas mentioned, man, we have some other ideas trying to also infiltrate other sports, like your soccer, your track, football, you know, again, just kind of, you know, redefining training mechanisms for those athletes as well. So there's more to come, but right now we're just focusing solely on, you know, this particular product.
I also want to interject, you know, over the past 5 years, being so young, being a minority entrepreneur and a founder that is you know, of minority, you know, it's been extremely tough going from the garage, teaching myself to weld with friends that know how to weld. You know, it's been crazy. You know, we had a garage. I started welding in my garage when I was 19, developing prototypes because, you know, I knew nobody would believe me if I didn't show them it was a real thing and we could actually do it, right? How you gonna get the shooting machine in the duffel bag? So Mr. Hatter, I know we met maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think within that year we've gotten funding. We've completely revamped the machine. And coming from the garage, I've seen it all from my machine that I welded in the garage to the one that I had engineers, you know, build off of that. And I think the one that you saw was like a later version of that. You probably saw maybe the 100th version. Now we're on the 150 version that is finally, you know, the version that, you know, we believe we perfected. So it's been an amazing ride.
And that's
is going through it.
What's so like fascinating about products. I think as a consumer, you know, we just believe that, you know, what's on the shelf is something they created and crafted, you know, yesterday, right? And just seeing it firsthand. And again, I'm only almost 2 years in. And I've seen so many different variations and, you know, versions of the machine. And just to really just see, you know, from what I've been able to witness, you know, it is an amazing process. And another thing too, you know, we always talk about, let's kind of pivot a little bit. We always talk about athletes and, you know, what will they do once they're done playing and, you know, what other passion points do, you know, these kids have. And I think that we all, you know, have a sense of that. Like growing up, I played basketball. We all played a sport. And then at some point in our lives, we figured out like, you know, basketball or whatever, baseball didn't really pan out and we have to do something else. And being able to tap into that mechanism in your mind to create something, right? Create a new product, you know, still be around the game of basketball, to just do these different things. And I'm sure Thomas's story will inspire, you know, another kid that's 19 years old that has an idea to do something that, you know, he has to do in his garage until 5 years later, you know, he has the right relationships and meet the right people and, you know, all those things kind of come together. I think the inspiration, though, is the most important. Far too often, we just kind of focus on just playing the game and not enough time is focused on, you know, other elements that these kids should be thinking about at a young age, as early as we possibly can get them to start thinking of other things to actually do with their time. Because right now, I mean, this is the perfect time, right? We all at the crib. we can't go. You can't go nowhere. You know, there's some young man or some young woman at home right now thinking about the next portable whatever. And I think that we should definitely always tap into those individuals and be a resource. I've been nothing but a resource. This wasn't my idea. I just saw something in Thomas that I admired at a young age. Like, man, and how can I help, right? And so that's really been my whole, motivation and emphasis is really just being able to, provide resources and opportunities, and provide feedback and input. And man, it's been, like I said, man, it's been dope, and we've having a great time, putting it together, man.
And Thomas, I'm gonna wrap this up with this. Thomas and Mo. Thomas, I don't often do this, but Mo just said something that touched me, and what I want you to do, I got a young man that I want you to. I'm gonna make sure I get y'all together. This young man who's a e-commerce expert in the e-commerce industry on Wall Street right now. This kid happened to be my son, a young 25-year-old guy that probably have some ideas that when you want to take it a mainstream. I think it'll be a good idea that you two guys need to some kind of way get together on the telephone or by email. So I'm gonna make sure I make that happen. He would be another resource that you might need to take this thing to another level. So I'm gonna make sure I do that. Thank you, Mo. You just inspired me because I didn't think about it in the beginning. And we got a resource in New York right now that's learning that industry and a master at that industry. So we might need to use that resource at some point.
And you know what, I'm almost 1,000% sure that Thomas and Lil Rob probably matched up somewhere. They probably played against each other at some point.
Oh, that's good.
No, man. I mean, you're right, man. I think
Thomas, y'all played against Westside?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What you do against Westside High School back when you was
Man, I don't know what I did. That was a while back. I'm 24. I turned 25 this year.
Yeah.
Y'all played against each other. Yes.
High school or AAU.
Yeah, you came out in 2014, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all played. Y'all played Westside. You don't remember what Westside did to you?
Jim.
Man, I don't know.
Leave Thomas, leave it alone, Thomas.
So I know we were tough my freshman and sophomore year. That junior and senior year, I was hit with them injuries. So, but that sophomore and I think freshman and sophomore year, we was kind of tough.
Thomas, hold up, Thomas. Did you play with Khalil Potts?
Khalil?
Yeah.
We had Khalil, we had Malcolm Ballard, Coach Henderson.
Yeah. I remember y'all.
You remember what we did to Yates that year, my freshman year?
Hey.
Hold on. So how can you remember that, but you can't remember Westside?
Jim, the Westside situation was. I'm trying to be quiet. It was ugly.
Yates, man, they was back-to-back champions. We came back. I think we lost. It was a loss, but we lost by 7 when they were blowing boys out by 100.
Oh, that's right. Talking about Yates. Yeah, they played Yates pretty good. Yeah, I remember that.
I think I had 15 that game or something like that.
See, your memory coming back against that. That's amazing. Your memory just comes all the back. I asked you about Westside. So what we got, guys? Once again, give them the website so they can go and learn more information about the Grind portable basketball machine. And give it to them. And also, real quickly, somebody asked the question. I wanted to make sure I get this in. We only got about 30 seconds. And that is there a warranty that comes with this product?
Good question.
Absolutely. Great question. We have a 1-year complimentary warranty that we give out. And we also have the ability to extend that warranty up to 3 years. So a total of 4 years. So yes, there is a parts and manufacturing warranty up to the cost of the product. So yeah, we do offer that. But yeah, and everybody can find us at grindbasketball.com. That's a website, that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter, Grind Basketball. Follow us, like our pictures, and tell a basketball player and a coach and a trainer about it.
I mean, we'll do, man. And then Mo Elrod, we got to get you back in because we got to talk about your directing skills. We want to talk about the fabric and take a blast to the past and come forth on your journey to now. A lot of people, I know that. So sometimes
I appreciate that. Man, thank you guys so much for your time, man. We really appreciate it. Everybody stay safe out here.
Hey, this for y'all, Mo. This for y'all.
Good deal, man. Appreciate that. That's for Mo Elrod and Thomas Fields with the Grind portable basketball machine. I like the fact that I saw one before.
Yeah. And
it is, I watched them how they bust it down. It's kind of cool. That was a neat thing. Watching them how they bust that thing down and it comes down and morphs into it transforms into the little knapsack that is about 4 feet.
Like a caterpillar. It's like a caterpillar. It just goes in this little cocoon. It pops out. Yeah.
And the case, how you go and you have just as you have your luggage when you go to the airport with the wheels at the two at the bottom. So it rolls when you and how you just, so it's not like you got to pack it and put it on your shoulder and back.
No. It rolls.
Rolls right onto the vehicle and you put it right in. So I like the concept and understand something, guys. This was one of those FUBU type situations, looking out for former basketball players, former student athletes. Don't have to be necessarily basketball players, but student athletes from our city.
Of course.
So this was the thing. This was not a situation where the young people had to come and had to pay for that conversation. No. Now, if he didn't go to Reagan High School, and that might have been a different, didn't play ball, but this is a young fella, 24 years old, who's been fighting the good fight. Mm-hmm. And to go and manifest the dream.
He had a vision. Jimmy.
To be an entrepreneur.
Jimmy, remember? Weeks ago, and I think last week, I kept saying we got to get used to kids in our community being successful. I didn't know you was going to bring this up. I didn't know we was going to do this. We have to get used to our kids and people in our communities being successful and be all right with it and don't be jealous about it and support them. That was almost prophetic, and now we got a young man that came on our show today and just look what he said. He saw a need. Think about it, y'all. That's where all the great inventors are. They find a need, not something that everybody else is doing. Wherever there's a need, believe you me, there would also be provisions. So a great, I'm so proud of Thomas Field, and I'm so proud he couldn't have picked a better guy. Mo Elrod to partner with, and I wish better things for him in the future. But get used to this, y'all. Listen to me. Get used to this, community. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was great thing, great convo from the young fellas. And guess what? That's not, look at it, $1,300. I mean, that's not bad for that concept. For the person that has the goal in the backyard. Yeah. You follow me? For the person for the summer basketball program, the grassroots basketball program, for example. Let me help some of you guys out with your thoughts. Let's say you have a program and you have your 17 under team. And there's 10 guys on that team for safe math. And that's only, right? A lot of you guys that charge fees, that's only an extra $100 a kid, and they get access to this,
But you don't want the kid to think they own it, though, Jimmy. You don't want the people to think they own it. No, but
they're
people
not
gonna
buying.
think I put my money on that machine. I'm just
No,
telling you how these folks act now.
no. I'm talking about you raising your fees.
Oh, added to you. Okay.
$100.
Okay.
That's it. Not $100 each time they got to pay. That means if your fees were $30 a month, right, for 3 months, you can make those fees. Let's say, I mean, $30 a month. Let's say for 10 months, you can make those fees $40 a month for 10 months, and you're going to get $100 from 10 different kids. That $10 or more. I mean, that's how you go. That's how our business works. You pass the cost along because the wear and tear. That's one idea. You don't have to do it, or you can go and find a company in your community and tell them that you're trying to get this, and this will help you guys because now you can go and it doesn't matter now. You know, a shooting machine is at every practice.
Yes.
You
Heck of a tool.
the gym and you put the little guy on that side goal. Y'all go and work on this. That way now, while the other people are doing this, you working on this. That one guy who's hurt and has the leg injury, but he can't get on the court. That's what he can get over there in the shooting machine.
Oh, Jimmy, it's a let me tell you something. The tool, if I was in that industry, if I was still doing teams, man, that's one of the first things I would purchase. I mean, I'm just me being a guy that love basketball and understand organization. Jimmy, it's a great way to start your workout. Great way to start it. Have stations. I mean, a great way to start. I mean, it's an unbelievable product at a very, very affordable price. And you just showed these guys how to make it more affordable. I see what you're saying now. I jumped the gun. You said you don't have to tell them. You just add a $10 surcharge to your thing, and that's how you get your money back. And understand. You notice the key. What I love, they understand the kid, understand the community he came from. So he had payment plans. He got a layaway. You ain't gonna get the thing. You ain't gonna get the product first. You got to lay it away. And then you got installments, making it that certain amount of money. Add that 1,500, 18 months, 1,500. I don't know how much. Jimmy, you the numbers guy. And let me tell you something. Yes. I would. I think it's very, very doable. And thank you, Thomas Field. Thank you, Mo Elrod. Man, I'm proud of y'all.
I'm proud of the innovation because that's something that they're doing that people can't get in the way and try to block, you know, and that's your product is good and it has a warranty to it. It's just a matter of time. And I'll give them a tip on advice for Thomas Fields and Mo Elrod. Go since right now. I know the numbers. I know some people probably have pulled out at the TABC convention. That convention normally it takes. Understand? They have one room that they have the vendors lined up, right, and have booths, kind of like you go in the convention center, right, and those different booths might offer different things that's catering to those high school coaches. That has the varying budgets based on the school district where they come from. You guys need to consider a booth at the TABC convention. Every high school coach, about 85% of them are in attendance in the state, and some college coaches. Then they come through there, they'll see you guys because most booths don't have the personnel that look like Thomas Fields and Mo Elrod, if you get what I'm saying. So that booth gonna have a little flavor to it. And
the uniqueness about that, Jimmy, that is a way. Uniqueness about this thing, it's a portable thing that, Jimmy, you can take this to your park. You get every individual, instead of just a coach or a team owning this thing, man, it's more people. It's people that might not, because guess what? Everybody can't store the big storeway shooting machine places. But you can take this thing with you. Individuals can have this because it's more individuals than coaches around in schools around the country. this is a thing that individual, mama, daddy, you can buy one for Junebug. Guess what? If you don't have a goal in the backyard, if you got the portable in the driveway, in the cul-de-sac, this thing could be pulled up and portable. And man, I'm sitting around here selling these people product. But guess what, Thomas? Hey, I can't help it because I believe in it already. I wish I had it. Wish we had had it. So it's a unique thing, man. Like I said, I'm proud of them. But this is something that you can buy your kid. Great toy. It's a great $1,500. If you're serious about your kid being a better shooter. So hey, unbelievable. Indoor, outdoor.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, of course, we are getting ready to land this plane, guys. We definitely appreciate all you guys for hanging in there and supporting these guys that are pitching this. Hey, guys, that might be some Shark Tank type material right there, But at the same time, they get more investors. But that's untapped territory. So applaud the young man from Reagan High School, class of 2014. He hadn't even had a 10-year reunion yet, and he's about trying to get this thing out. So understand what you're doing. You have the power to put your fingerprints in from your heart to his hands, and so he can go and help his product get out there.
And Jimmy, I'm watching the Facebook feed, and I notice people are not commenting right now. So I hope you're on their website ordering that kid's Thomas's device. Since you're not commenting, I hope you're on his website. What's that? grindbasketball.com. So that's it for me, Jimmy. I'm out of here, babe. Man, I'm out of here. Go on, get us down.
So you guys, man, it's time to slide down. Dino's back and Yabba Dabba do this thing. Of course, tomorrow, Women Rock Wednesday. Make sure you share the show if you hadn't done so to your timelines and your friends, and spread the word about the Chop Shop. Hell, after all, it ain't a whole lot else for you guys, for a lot of people to be doing right now. Bring a friend tomorrow and let's chop it up with them. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics and get back into some recruiting mailbag as well. The grassroots time. And, is it one of the questions we're going to deal with? Is it okay for grassroots teams to be conducting practices? Right. That's one of the questions.
Jim Hicks.
Rob Hatter. Right, you
are now tuned in
and
to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it.
Want to
we in the Chop Shop. We live in the
and that is in regard to the COVID-19. I want to dedicate this show to my oldest sister over in Shreveport, Louisiana, Giselle. On yesterday, Giselle was admitted into the hospital in ICU, where she remained this morning with COVID-19 symptoms, 104 degrees fever. So you see, that's in Shreveport. And remember, Louisiana had already just recently shut down their city and have a curfew actually is in effect. So you guys understand, to be able to have to tote the load and to be able to keep you guys entertained for 2 hours plus and still maneuver, that's the oldest sister, and she fits right into that category because she's 64 years old of the over 60 and the respiratory. So more peace for you guys. Make sure you guys be safe out there. Be smart. Don't do nothing goofy. But at the same time, remember, everybody have choices and consequences. So that's it. On behalf of Robert Hatter, Jim Hicks, peace out. Chop Shop. We're out of here.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk.